This was going straight from the standard, and it is written with unknowns and oppositions.
The past, present, and future converged during the 2012 edition of the Total Instructional Alignment Working Conference as educators were greeted with 3 questions. Where have we been in the past? Where are we today? And where are we going in the future? The past began with the first conference in the summer of 2008, when math and language arts teachers met to align Idaho state standards to the local curriculum. The number of teachers and subject areas involved has continued to grow in subsequent years. In 2011, the Common Core state standards adopted by Idaho and 44 other states were introduced. An alignment among the Common Core standards, the Idaho state standards, and the local curriculum began. The integration of the Common Core standards continued this year.
They're rigorous, they're in depth, and they're rich. And why we need to get them integrated into classroom instruction is that we have to utilize that intellectual merit within the Common Core to develop our students to be in a position when they graduate from high school either to enter into highly qualified technical fields or to move on to college.
In reality, we are 1 year away from the implementation of higher standards and higher expectations for student achievement, which is going to push a change in instructional practices, that the teacher is going to become far more a facilitator of differentiated student learning than a deliverer of learning. And the work that our teachers are doing here in Southeast Idaho is getting us ready for that shift.
So it says the state standard, and then it says site-specific content standard number from above. So we have to find the state standard.
So we can go back over to our document, which will work. And then what do we have to do after?
We have to match it with the Common Core.
Match it with the Common Core. And we've got those side by side.
The 2012 conference also had an eye toward the future, toward the spring of 2015, when students begin taking a mandated test created by the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium. That test will replace the current ISAT requirement. The Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium is composed of representatives from 29 states charged with creating the next generation of assessments dedicated to fulfilling the aims of the Common Core state standards.
It's a completely transparent process by which any teacher, any citizen, any parent can see exactly what sort of items are going to be created, what the expectations are going to be, and I would say that the most important thing to understand, because I've worked on the performance tasks for Smarter Balance for the last year and a half, is that there's no light between the Common Core and the assessment. The expectations you see in the Common Core will be those that are expected to be delivered and students to show evidence of on the assessment.
Well, the first one is the discussion, right? So the students will explain.
How do we assess that, though? How do we assess?
I can show I learned how to correctly analyze a poem
through group discussion.
Yes.
In order to better prepare students for the Smart Balanced Assessment, one focus of the 2012 conference was the creation of a unit template that can be replicated by teachers away from the conference. Once again, National TIA Facilitator Lisa Carter was in attendance to offer her input.
Unit planning should all begin with the standards in mind. From those standards, you look for the connections, the big ideas, the overarching ideas, and the enduring understandings that you want your students to walk away with.
Carter says that there are 5 facets of a good unit plan. First, planning begins with identification of what students must know and be able to do as the result of the unit. Second, a unit effectively organizes instruction in order to ensure a thorough and in-depth understanding of multiple standards. Third, a unit provides a total focus on specific predetermined expectations that students should master. Fourth, a unit encourages student investigation and inquiry. And finally, a unit presents learning, assessment, and instruction as working together. In other words, a good unit helps students to become lifelong learners.
We know now it's not about knowledge and comprehension and what they can remember. What we want students to walk away with are those lasting, enduring understandings that they can take and transfer into future situations that will help them learn in the future and help them learn how to learn.
Well, the assessment that the kids are going to be participating in is going to be clustered assessment using a variety of skills through problem solving. So the unit development is critical because they have to look at the standards and look at how these standards go together to drive complex skill development in children.
And we're trying to develop units that any teacher can use as any work of literature from that writing period.
Yeah. So if you have a textbook or a novel, a set of novels that we don't have it teach on high school, you can still take those themes and make them applicable to what you're doing.
Right, without naming specific stories.
We thought that would be the most helpful.
In the Blooms, I can demonstrate my reading skill by reading grade level text fluently or something to that effect, so that we add the higher thinking by demonstrating that you can use those skills. You aren't just finding them and identifying them, but you are actually using the skills to read first grade level text fluently.
A perennial favorite part of the conference is the opportunity that it gives teachers to collaborate with educators from other schools, districts, and levels. This helps to ensure that Idaho students will receive a seamless education from kindergarten through college, and it also helps to ensure that teachers entering the classroom are better prepared.
We're looking for a problem that leads to a single answer or a set of answers. And so, okay, we've got some context there. Earthquakes cause the tsunami. You can model the motion of the tsunami with that function.
You know, that's not worthy of a kid working on, just so you know.
Could we reword it when adding the fractions 6/9 and 1/8? What are the possible common denominators?
That'd give you what are three possible common denominators.
Okay. Total instructional alignment has been incredibly helpful in two ways: to help teachers think about aligning the curriculum, as well as working with the faculty in the College of Education so that they're better prepared in preparing future teachers.
Seeing the speakers, talk about the Common Core, and then just seeing all the teachers, I think there's 400 teachers around here, and just seeing the passion and getting to collaborate with teachers to say, hey, what are you doing in this area? This is how I teach it. Oh, this is how you do it. So you pick up little tips and tricks of the trade to teach to the standard.
Well, now we can incorporate math, which is a core subject area, into PE by saying, okay, time how long you did your weights, or for us, how long you played volleyball today.
She thought we needed one goal in there for writing. I'm not sure which one she was looking at.
Well, and you can embrace it under anything. You could say, are we going to write a book about something we've been studying in science and using letters? Are we going to do it? I mean, you could do it any type of curricular connection.
At the beginning of the 2012 conference, educators were told that they are teacher leaders who are shaping the culture of their schools by improving their school's teaching and learning and by influencing instructional practices. It's a role that participants take very seriously.
Okay, I need to see this one. I'm okay. I'm not grading you, but I need to see what you think about this. One step forward if I am willing to share leadership to roll out TIA and implement the Common Core state standards in my building or district. Okay.
We're treading new water, and the work is a bit ambiguous. It's messy work, it's hard work, but I'm very proud of our teachers. When they get together and plan and think, there's a lot of intellectual capacity in the rooms, and our teachers are just doing an outstanding job with a very, very difficult work.
Alignment, planning, and assessment. The working conference for total instructional alignment once again proved very successful.
Go forth and conquer.